we have got an interesting one for you. Two teams profound and known amongst the Counter-Strike scene community and our analysts as gods of the game in the aim department. Now, Fnatic, of course, the individuals that used to go ahead and spread their wings across servers and making themselves a force to be reckoned with and feared across Counter-Strike. And now FaZe seems to have taken the helm from them. These guys, a band of individuals from different nationalities coming together, and it's the individuals under Karrigan, the Puppet Master, newest addition to the team, who's been making them rock and roll. Quite the record they've had so far, Yenko. FaZe, we'll just touch on them to start things off. We get to see these boys Grand Final every single event since Nico joined.
Absolutely, which is an incredible feat considering the competition we have right now in the CSGO scene. And fortunately for them, only one win out of those 4 tournaments, but nothing to be ashamed of. They also had a big break ever since IEM Sydney, more than a month, so they actually had time to iron things out, change their strategy so that, you know, people can't anti-strat them as much and so forth. And obviously a team filled with individual talent, but, you know, I still think they have a decent amount of structure. I don't think they're comparable to how Fnatic played last year, or even how they play right now.
No, absolutely. It's just the talk of when you try and find a star within FaZe, it's more notable and more difficult than it was when Nico was perhaps playing for that of Mouse Sports. We can go ahead and bring it up though. Fnatic are going to be our primary focus here. Let's go, Chad. Let's talk about those boys from Fnatic, and you get to see some of that play, some of those faces of the individuals that really did perform.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest topics for Fnatic is JW and the fact that he can be an X factor for these guys, the amount of room that he can make, the sporadic plays that he does that allows the other teammates to either, you know, capitalize on the room that he makes, or gives them a chance to take things a little bit easier. Then you've got Dennis right there on your screen. He's the pistol master. We keep saying that time and time again. I think he might have some challenges in that area in a match like this. Yeah, there's so many good aimers in this game. Flusher, he's still in the in-game leading, but there was actually an interview with him recently where he said that he thinks Crims is doing, well, he said Crims is doing more of the calling, or maybe some more mid-round calling, which is interesting. And I think, you know, Crims is a passive player. We call him like a rock, that kind of guy, and that means he might have more time to kind of see how the rounds are playing out. He's not really the one doing the entries. And then Olaf, obviously one of the greatest players of all time in CSGO. He just is a playmaker that I guess he can only be compared with the other greats, you know, and maybe Nico on the other side of the server is one.
Now, it's just an interesting observation actually from Freiburg when we were talking about the teams attending just in the green room or ahead of time. One of his observations about Fnatic kind of caught me off guard. He suggested, you know, this is open to both of you, that a lot of Fnatic's success hinges on JW, and that his presence on the server, when he is playing well, he is the primary factor that enables the freedom for those names you've just mentioned to really kind of blow up. What do you make of that, Yenko?
I agree. It's him and Olaf who are the biggest playmakers, but JW, you know, with his insane moves, sometimes he really brings a lot of disarray into the enemy team and a lot of frustration, and that's kind of, he's the initial aggressor, so to speak, and then Olaf capitalizes on that, and then the rest of the team follows up, so to speak.
Can I get a Counter-Strike definition from you? Sorry, Chad, do make
a definition?
Point. Yeah, just when we talk about making space, what are we referring to?
So it really just depends on what situation we're talking about, right? Yeah. But if we're talking about like an entry fragger on an execute making space, we're talking about somebody who will be jumping out with the flashes to make room for his teammates and clearing space for them to be able to come out and take those longer duels or find entry frags off the information that player gives. If we're talking about someone who makes space because of sporadic plays, we're talking about someone who is doing something maybe not within the confines of a strategy, a little bit more random, maybe using his instincts. And what that means is when he pushes in and he finds some information or a frag, it means that his teammates can capitalize on that information mid-round, and they can also go and take space, and then you can get the dominoes to fall and the round will just slide into place.
He basically draws attention to himself, right? He focuses the enemy team to deal with him, and that gives more space creator, right? Gives more space to his teammates to do their own thing.
And ironically, exactly what Adam said, he was like, well, when we played in NIP, we just focused on shutting JW down, which, whilst he's aware of it, Olaf is around as well. So I'm very excited to see how this one shapes up. I didn't quite catch those Betway odds, but that's, of course, one of the sponsors here. It looks like they've given, FaZe quite heavy favourites once again. I mean, justifiable after we've just mentioned their record, Chad, right? They're clear favourites for you?
I think they should have the upper hand in this matchup, but they're going to be coming off a disappointing loss yesterday. So it's going to see if they can bounce back. We know that, it seemed to me anyway, that they had a really tough time having a long break. So today, you know, it's not that they've had a long break, it's they're just starting much later in the day. I hope that they come in with better energy, because Fnatic, they looked hot in their second match versus Heroic, I think it was.
And FaZe deflated, absolutely. Yeah, that Mouse loss perhaps knocked them for 6, especially, was it 9-0 that start? I think everyone watching that over on Nuke.
Yeah, Nico had -1 and 7, something
but
ridiculous
Mouse was
like
still
that.
9-0 up.
Yeah, and Mouse was dominating at the beginning of that game. FaZe started mounting a comeback, but it wasn't quite enough, and it was maybe complacency a little bit. I agree with Chad as well that it was, you know, being tired or whatever. Those are all, you know, you need to be prepared to play the game, obviously. But I think FaZe now are going to be much more up for the task.
Let's do it. Let's find out if we get to see Nuke in this veto.
No.
Likelihood
No,
is
I
a big
don't think so.
resounding no. Fnatic say
This is where FaZe has a huge advantage coming into the veto. Their map pool is much wider, so FaZe has the luxury of even, you know, they can ban Inferno. Cobble is the one map they don't play. They can ban Inferno and ban Mirage, and that really kind of narrows the pool for Fnatic. They are only left with Train in that case as a map that they do play, but you know,
So
I think
have
FaZe
control.
it's one of their strongest maps, right? So we're probably going to end up on something like what's
They won't play Inferno.
and this FaZe V2's Inferno.
Overpass.
You end up on Overpass.
how many games did it take? 22.
Quite a few.
22 maps of Counter-Strike to find Overpass in ESL One Cologne, but we do get it, and of all the teams, it's FaZe Fnatic. We did get to see that incredible surprise win. Let's not forget, Fnatic tweeted after Jönköping, they tweeted, we don't even know our map pool anymore after they 16-6 or something beat SK on Overpass. So they've had results, or at least a result. I don't want to go ahead and start adding S's.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams don't know their map pool right now, to be fair. I guess they have a feeling what their strengths are, but in this environment, it's kind of the shoe's on the other foot now, because when FaZe first got Carrigan in the team, it was they were able to counter-strike all of their opponents. Now they're the ones who are on the receiving end, and Fnatic, they would definitely have done the homework. They'll be the ones who are going to be going up with the knowledge of how FaZe play, and if they can take advantage and make players like Keo, the rock on B on the CT side, they can make him sweat. They might be able to get some work done on that side of the map. It's just going to be interesting to see their level of preparation in this match.
Okay, preparation will be the question mark then. I guess we'll leave it there. From myself, YNK and Sponge A, we're going to go ahead and throw it over to your casters. I'm sorry, I am Chad. Yeah, you shake your head and these guys will shake theirs. So once again, throw it over to your casters. In fact, I say throw, I could actually throw something at them. In fact, let's see if I can do this.
I got it.
You
Here
ready?
we go. This is
Jason and Pansy.
Nailed it. Good job, guys. Let's hope this goes just as smoothly as that delightful throw there, Alex.
It was
Well done.
beautiful, wasn't it?
That was good. Good form.
It's like a butterfly in the wind.
What?
I don't know. It's just a crumpled piece of paper, right? It just is all over the place.
Sums up all of our feelings right now. Fnatic and FaZe, though, those are two teams I'm excited for. This is actually going to be a great matchup. You know, a lot of teams you have to play against them, coming with the same mentality of having to deal with that very aggressive, aim-heavy style that is so hard to handle. So when these two go at it, you know you're in for a good matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the skill battle is going to be great. It can be a brawl at times, but this is a little bit more of a tactical map, right? And like this is a map we've seen tactics just win the day. The rotations you can force, the fakes you can throw. A lot of. I mean, they talk a lot about space, about making space on this, and that's what those tactics are designed to do, to allow someone like Olafmeister, someone like JW, just like one crease in the defense at the wrong moment, and those guys can create everything for their squad. So it is going to be a little bit of a test, I think, in that regard for Fnatic, because FaZe has Kerrigan. They have the experienced in-game leader. They have the guy who's experienced on this map, and he's had very good teams on this map. So quite dangerous to see how that skill is going to match up when you combine those tactics from FaZe.
No, it's a terrifying prospect, and I think
I wouldn't want to do it.
No, I don't think many people would willingly walk into this, but you've got to pick your battles, don't you? So for FaZe, I think I'm hoping that we got a bit of a skewed view of them in that game yesterday. I hope that's not the FaZe we're going to be seeing coming forward. I don't think it will be. This has to be a new look for them.
No, I mean, just to touch on that quickly, it is incredible, like incredibly difficult how you have to be focused for like 2 hours during a 5 overtime game, warming up probably 2 to 3 times and still maintain your focus going into the match. And now here, obviously, they know exactly when things are going to start. Everything's been going well today, so FaZe should be on point as they come up these stairs, but it's Dennis finding out all this information, hearing the footsteps behind him as well. They're not going to check that. He's going to get one shot. That's the bomb as well, but there's the trade. Nico slowly coming up those stairs.
Yeah, great trading ability from FaZe. That could have spiraled. You know, Dennis in that spot, that much ability that he has to make it count, that could have been bad. But look at this. They've shown face by A. They instantly turn tail towards B, and they have a great start towards getting it. Flusher can maybe hinder a little bit of the cross, but not landing the shots means they have the site, they have the plant, and they've got Rain in a good spot as well.
Yeah, so quick. FaZe makes that call so convincing. Flush is brought down very low before the reinforcements get here. They're still blocked off by smoke. This is looking increasingly unlikely for FaZe on the retake. They do have a kit, or I mean for Fnatic, excuse me. They do have a kit on Crims, but They have no avenue to get back into the bomb site.
No, such great after plant positions initially. I got to give credit to Rain as well, just barreling straight through to get that sort of spot. You'll be checked on, but you're the first warning system. You take the attention, you allow the others to play back into it, and Rain's going to take the fight eventually. And yeah, he'll do pretty well, and Nico as well, chiming in at the end to get another for himself. But you feel there's a couple of occasions where Fnatic could have maybe done a little more. Then you think that maybe Nico could have maybe found a little bit more. You know, Dennis could have kicked off, excuse me. He was the player pushed up by Fountain, but
yep.
You know, it was dealt with well. FaZe looked good, really quick on that playback through towards B.
Well, that's the thing, knowing what kind of information you've given up, right? I mean, Dennis sees everyone. He sees the bomb. He sees 3 to 4 people over towards bathrooms. You see the rotation coming from Fnatic, and FaZe just runs down the connector, runs down those stairs, throws the smoke immediately, and get into the bomb site. And it's so quick. There's no time for Fnatic to get the information that they've been fooled, and even for them to get back into position. So it's really, really well done from FaZe. Those are the kind of fakes that you can throw on this map that are going to be so deadly in the gun rounds.
Yeah, FaZe thus far coming in with a very nice approach. First round though. Straight onto the rifles though. Look at this buy. Oh, look at it go. Dennis connecting
nice.
So cleanly towards Karrigan, able to back away, doesn't give him much up. It might play in JW here. He's very isolated, but he only has a CZ anyway. So you kind of want these situations. You want Dennis to take a little bit of the attention. You take the swing, but no, Nico's not going to allow that. He's going to get one right back.
Yeah, the equalizer. And more importantly, that's cleared out bathrooms. So denial of information for Fnatic on the defense. And FaZe have a lot of room to work with, a lot of map control here that they've gained. Although on the other side of the map, Fnatic pushing forward. Flusha, he's on the flank. He's already at T-spawn. 2 players at A for Fnatic. That's the best they can hope for at the moment.
Yeah, between Dennis and Olafmeister, you're hoping for damage buying time. Allow Crims and Flusha to get into good spots for that quick play around the back. That default plant doesn't look so comfortable anymore, but good work from Alu to find Olafmeister there. Going to put Dennis very much alone, being spammed out here, pushed further and further back. But it will be a quick play around the back, and Rain seems aware that that's a very, very likely possibility. So he's the man to take on the challenge, but carefully does it. Man's already got past you by toilets, and they're both aware now. They know what's happening. Alu instantly there to not allow anything to spiral away. Very well played.
Yeah, and also great covering. Oh, there's a couple of nice kills from Crims. Down into a 2-on-2. Nico's at 4 HP. That's a huge kill from Keo. If he was to get taken out there, hugely unlikely Nico would be able to do a whole lot. He's playing so passively in bathrooms, and his entire goal here is to just take... Oh my god, that was a nice tap. He can do this.
Crims. There's nothing stopping him doing this. Nico is so low. He doesn't have a kit, so time is going to be one of those things against him. And yeah, he's realized that. He knows that is too much of a risk. He doesn't know how low Nico is, of course. You can make an assumption that, yeah, okay, we tagged him pretty heavily, but both make it out of this alive. But my word,
costly.
Crims.
Yeah, incredible shots from him. And I mean, just taking money away. Obviously, at the end, there's not enough time, but this is beautiful with the CZ. Baits that second player into a peek, gets the first kill. Quite nice. Alu can't do anything too quick.
Yeah, Alu just made to do the splits on that. 2-0 FaZe. Not exactly clean, not what you dream about. It's not your ideal round, of course, but you get what you're given against Fnatic. You're never going to get away with everything. And you certainly know it when you play against this lineup. They have so much firepower as well. They can always make things quite interesting, even no matter what the buy may be. Now, this time, a little bit of a lean from FaZe towards B, just purely because they have the underpass positions. They've got a little bit of a play towards Water, and Nico watching the play through Monster, in case anyone tries to make something happen. And Karrigan incredibly passive over by Fountain. So again, wait and see if Fnatic make a move here.
Nothing quite yet, but they certainly do have some information. JW is coming down the stairs, so 4-player stack over towards B. JW's got him boxed in. It just is a little bit unfortunate. This is a round where they just don't have a whole lot to fight with. Bomb is all the way in T-spawn, so no even real idea of executing, of committing to this hit. Over a minute left. They're waiting to find out where this AK-47 is, and there it is. Now it's spotted out. Keo knows. The reverse span coming in from Crims. He's giving it away, trying to do something, trying to create something for his team here.
Fnatic, you're just always on the receiving end, aren't you? You can't make moves here. You know you can't. You're kind of done for a little bit. Crims is going to try and make something happen, possibly for himself. But again, you're just hoping at this conjecture. But all right, Flusha with a CZ. This feels like, you know, Fnatic of those times when the CZ is the thing that's doing a lot of the damage. But Flusha and Crims starting to read the play well. Going to get towards that A bomb site as the smokes start to plume, and the bomb will be escorted through. Karrigan looking for that plant. Flusha goes for a little bit of a tap. Nothing there though.
Yeah, they had the read. It was just a little bit, just a couple seconds too late. Couldn't get back to get in front of the smokes and maybe get lucky with Crims creating something. And he's just fallen now. I think Flusha's only mindset here is get the AK-47 and fall away. Dennis has one of his own that he's going to bring into the next round. If he could bring 2, that'd be great. Alu's on the hunt though already. I don't think he's going to clear this.
No, it's a tricky position, isn't it? And Flusher knows he's up against it. You've got Rain hunting him down, but awkward positioning will allow that to happen for him. Don't really, I guess an SMG is something, but it's not exactly what you were here for.
No, not at all. Here it is though. Alu does kind of check it, but it's a little half-assed, and Dennis takes him down. So 3-0, that's quite nice. The cool thing was FaZe, I mean, they had so much presence in those sewers, right? That they just kept up that presence, they kept up the spam, and you could see Fnatic didn't want to rotate back because there's still the potential that the hit's going to come in, and they're kind of dedicated to that gamble of having the stack of having 4 players there. Eventually, when FaZe readjusts over towards the A bomb site, it's just a little bit too late. So great presence kept up by FaZe, even though you lost a couple players. But going into this first round, Alu's going to have the AWP. It's all rifles, no snipers on the Fnatic side.
And we know that's a factor. They love those double ops when they have the opportunity to go for them these days, especially on that CT side, of course. And a big presence towards Underpass. 2 players, at least initially, were here. JW supporting Olaf Meister, and Dennis over by those Guardian stairs, if you must. Now, we wait and see if FaZe check this one out cleanly. It does get a little bit tricky at this point. Got to get past 3 players here. Again, if something's just a little bit out of whack, they're not quite as concise as they'd ideally want, things can spiral. But Dennis so far playing the smart. He doesn't want to give away too much. He has to be careful not to get touched by that molly. Even the sound cue of that could give away a lot.
It's the stack and stairs. This is where it all is. JW wins that battle. Olaf wins one of his own. That's brilliant. Early kills for Fnatic. They've got a huge advantage. A 5-on-3. Alu, though, he spots him out. That would have been a great shot to hit. That would have helped out immensely. And FaZe is pretty much just booking it towards the A bomb site, trying to beat the rotations.
Well, they've done pretty well on that. There's only Flusher who's really in a spot instantly to hinder this. Dennis now can come in with something. You can see Flusher trying to commit, trying to make it stop. But there's no stopping it. And now bomb planted. A little bit of an awkward predicament. Dennis, he can make this one uncomfortable, and he does. It's Carrigan to find Dennis, though, in the end. Quickly evening this one almost back out, but there's only 2 players standing FaZe, but they do have that bomb plant. Time is ticking, but Olaf Meister instantly gets in there. Carrigan goes away, and now it's just down to Nico. The 1v3 bomb is planted, no one's on the flank. So all eyes train towards this direction. Smoke comes in, they're on the bomb. And I don't know how much of a shot Nico's got on this one. No, time to back away, get that up, and give up the round.
Yeah, smart play from Nico, just realizing it's a lost effort. And because the round was so hectic, because it was a 3-on-5, FaZe just had to plant on the other side of the boxes. Once Nico remembers that and recalls that, he just books it. He knows once he misses that one shot, it's just too much to deal with. So 3-1, a good response by Fnatic, a nice aggressive setup in the stairwell. Olaf and JW both getting kills. That kind of seals it from there. Pretty convincing though, like when FaZe in some of these rounds, you think the pistol round, you think that round, when they've encountered any kind of obstruction, when they've encountered any kind of difficulty in it, it's just a very quick response of where they decide to go from there. They're trying to beat the rotations because 2 players being dedicated in stairs, and they saw 1 player in bathrooms. They know there's likely no one in the A bomb site.
FaZe fighting hard for this control this time. Give me some route of being able to rotate. Give me something to play with here, and they've managed that. Rain's going to be in there now, playing it through with Carrigan. This
is where you see the result, though, of some of those the early economic losses. You know, that one round, Fnatic takes it down to just a 1-on-1, and I think at the 2nd or 3rd round, I mean, you could see 2 Tech 9s at Galil as well. Not a whole lot of utility, so some past mistakes coming back to haunt FaZe, at least in this round.
For now, at least. Still a molly or 2, a couple of smokes to put up. They can make a piece happen here. 2 players dedicated towards B, 1 on the quick rotate for Fnatic, though. So, again, FaZe testing the waters, making a little bit of noise. Nico getting progress done.
He's just maintaining presence. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to be a backstabber, if he's going to come meet up with his teammates, and he is going to come meet up. Here comes the execute. Kio's going to lead the way. Yeah,
this is worrying. Kio's been given a lot of ground. Great flash to hinder this, though. FaZe slowed down. Fnatic can get the players in the right place to make this one stop, but Flusher in for a bit of a battle here, but keeps himself alive, and it's Crims who can do so much damage here. He knows there's a player surely on boost. No, but Nico comes up with 2 big kills. That's going to open up so many avenues of opportunity, but still, Nico will not relent. He will not stop. That's 3 for him, and already hyper aware that the chance of a flank is pretty likely.
So many advantages for Fnatic that round, and Nico's on 4. He could get an ace. What a great round from him. He can win it all, but he's not. He takes the battle in the flames. Dennis in a 1-on-2. This would be a huge round for Fnatic to win, but he can't do it. Nico creates everything for FaZe there over the smoke. Well, all his teammates are bogged down. This is brilliant stuff. Krim's a little over-eager.
Yeah, that adjustment on Krim.
That is just so dirty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well played from Nico.
And that's the Nico we were looking for yesterday as well. You know, the guy who went completely missing, very quiet, clearly not a situation he can play well in those sort of atmospheres, very maybe overworked up, you know, whatever it was, it just stopped him being how he can be.
And a player of his caliber, I mean, obviously, you rarely see people go -1 and 7, right? It's just not going to happen 2 games in a row, certainly. Big impact for him here early on in this game for FaZe, and he's got the hard reset as well.
Perfect. All right. Well, Fnatic, good luck. Historically, these two have had very close matchups, bearing in mind. I think overall, Fnatic still might retain a slight advantage over FaZe. Of course, you know, this trails back to a long time before this. And now Nico just padding out the stats. Not quite. Not going to be able to do it all, but that's a gun dropped at least. He
got swarmed. That's a little uncomfortable. That flashbang really ate him. So, I mean, nice job from Fnatic. A good strategy when you just have USPs. The double flash forces Nico back, gives him a disadvantage in some of those fights. So many different angles that he had to fight from. Either way, no danger of losing this round. It is an AK-47 on Olaf. He's just going to keep that moving forward. Kerrigan's on the hunt with that MAC-10, and Flusha is going to be sneaky. Awkward range, and yep, that's uncomfortable. That is really awkward.
Yeah. Olaf though, at least going to get the rifle for now. I don't see that being a problem just yet.
They're going to start closing in on him. There's still some time in this bomb timer for them to take this out of his hands, but he's actually positioning himself very, very nicely, going back towards the A bomb site where Kerrigan's already cleared. So nice job from Olaf to make sure he keeps that AK-47.
Overall, though, let's kind of take stock of what we're seeing so far. We haven't seen much of a fight back yet from Fnatic. The money's been pretty much broken every time they've seemed to have a chance. Again, though, we are seeing FaZe now building up money, building up funds, and this buy. They've got on the kind of, I guess, the lesser buy here.
If you force buy fully here and you lose it, that just, it almost is like this half is just a win away, a FaZe win away from spiraling out of control. So they've gone a little bit of the conservative route. Yes, they're likely going to let FaZe get up towards 6. They're still dangerous. But at least the next buy will be more secure, and this is very fast-paced. Kerrigan leading it this time, leading from the front. The general at the front of the army, and actually great trades from Fnatic.
Yeah, Flusha having success on short is massive. Now they have no support. The flashes are perfect as well. Of course Fnatic win this one. Why wouldn't it be Flusha with a CZ? Do you not remember this, man? Jesus, the things he used to do with that gun. Now Alu, 1v4. Hiding the AWP. He knows what's going to be happening here. Going to try and allow as little to fall into the hands of Fnatic as possible, but it's clutching at straws here for him.
Yeah, it really is. He's got a minute to work with, though. If he can find some one-on-ones. The issue is Fnatic's playing this pretty smart at the moment. Everyone's kind of in positions to trade if need be. JW with an AK-47. He's going to finish things. So 3 AKs salvage. Could be 4, so that's going to be great. All that Fnatic really has to invest in this next round is the AWP. So now, I mean, because of that decision to just do a half buy there, the money balloons a little bit. Great counter flashes is like the really, that's how this result comes about for Fnatic. Everyone blind. You can see there at the end, Kerrigan and Keo had no chance of recovering.
You almost say Teemo.
I don't know what I just
tried to say. Are you thinking League of Legends or dogs? Which one are you going for here? But 2-5. Back to the Rift we go. Kerrigan suffering down on the Tech 9. We do have that AWP up. So now JW maybe can make his entrance into this game. He's been not exactly quiet, I wouldn't say that, but he hasn't had an opportunity to shine just yet. Dennis already pushed up towards Party. And again, FaZe wanting that underpass control, and I cannot blame them.
Well, this is an awkward position for Dennis. All timing, and it's not with him there. Easy kill for Kerrigan. Too easy, some might say, and Olaf's going to fall all the way back. Not quite sure how that came about, but frequently he's got at least a little bit of a cover, or he's bailing out of that kind of a play earlier. So susceptible from too many angles.
Yeah, I'm surprised that no one was there with him, maybe to spot stairs or even
like an
close
upper
by.
in bathrooms or something like
that.
Yeah,
because they had Olaf close and they had one on long, so I'm kind of surprised that no one really supported. But again, maybe it was just a bit of a whim, maybe he just hoped, I don't know. But hopes don't get you too far in these situations, so we're going to see what looks like FaZe fall back. This could be a nice piece towards B, as they do have those mollies, those smokes, and it is currently really just Flusha holding this one down.
Oh, there's Nico on the other side of the map having impact as well. 1 kill, so that's going to make the defense feel very, very nervous. And here it comes, just dry. No nades whatsoever. Crims isn't ready for it. Neither is Flusha. Actually, Flusha was ready for it. He just gets beat.
Sometimes biting the pillow doesn't even help.
Tell me about it, Lord.
Olaf Meister, your last man standing. He's watched his teammates fall around him. And FaZe, they're making this one look pretty comfortable. Like, that was a nice shot, but Karrigan was low. But still, I've got to say, FaZe don't look flustered at all. You've seen a couple of rounds by Fnatic. Okay, yeah, the CZs, yeah, that's great, cool. Very nicely done, boys. You know, nice to know that's still with you, but I'm not seeing much of a fight back, even on the buy rounds.
It's hard for Fnatic to get a read at the moment, right? Because FaZe, we've seen them do some of those executes towards each of the bomb site. And it almost felt like Fnatic was waiting for that execute over towards B. One player retake, one player flush had just gotten into water. But, I mean, FaZe just walk out pre-firing angles. And, I mean, from there, it's just not a whole lot you can do. Now they've got Olaf box in. There's no chance he keeps this AK into the next round. Yep, there it goes. Ugh.
This is tough to watch. It genuinely is. I genuinely expected a very close game between these two, but the momentum, the control, it all sits very favorably with FaZe at the moment. They've got everything going for them. A decent money, bank starting to build around them as well. Fnatic on the other side, it's constantly scraping it together. JW not on the AWP this time, it's Olafmeister. Maybe spawn base, maybe not feeling, maybe on how it's going, maybe how they're playing. But it's going to be Olafmeister playing down Monster. There is a player all the way back as well, but Underpass again is so hard fought for. Flasher this time will come up with it. Rain goes down, but that's a huge amount of investment and a big risk to put that many players that deep into Underpass.
Yeah, well, it's worth it. Look how much they've gained all the way under the ladder. FaZe has got to be cognizant of that moving forward. They've got to be aware that that flank can come in, so a very, very dicey situation. Rain even had a pretty good flash. It looked like Flusher was so blind, but he still gets the kill. Just fortunate with the angle, and JW unfortunate behind that smoke as Nico lands a couple shots. Nico's going to chase it down with just a Glock as well, but he can't finish him off. He's still going. He doesn't let go, finds it eventually, hunts him down. And Dennis, a really unfortunate jump there.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary. And the damage is being done as well. Flusher, Dennis, Crims all looking a little low, but Dennis is still able to operate. But they're finally overwhelmed. Good trade, though, comes in. And now 3v2, Keo and Alu. And they'll split up here. 45 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Alu with the ult. Moving up slowly with the bomb. He could find the opening kill. There's going to be an opportunity, but Olaf has one at the top of the stairs. Big duel coming out. Can't see him just yet. Olaf only peeking for the stairwell. It's Crims he's got to worry about. And there's the slow peek. He wins it anyways. It's not instant. And now they've spotted out where the op is as well. Alu can get the plant. Keo's just got to cover him. And the smoke is going to go down also. Keo checking the flank. This is going to be set up nicely for some post-plant positionings. That smoke is going to allow Alu to get away, but not fast enough. Olaf through the fence. Huge kill.
And Keo put into a real tricky situation. Olaf still has a kit as well, but they need to breach this corner. Flusher absolutely bangs him out. Keo didn't have a hope in hell that the fuse could be coming in, and a double AWP to really salvage from that. But throwing our minds back to the very start of that round, a very aggressive start from Fnatic, but it was required.
Yeah, it was. They had to get something going, and I mean the big thing now is the next test. Yes, they just won another round, but they can't get reset here. They simply can't have this entire half be broken up by individual wins and then saving. That'll get too far out of control. And they're at that very similar situation as another gun is bought over by JW to be dropped. They've got nothing. It's a double op setup. 3 players below 500. If they lose this one, Fnatic's in for a very, very rough half.
Well, we know what's on the line now. The longevity of this half might bank on this, and it looks like a quicker hit possibly from FaZe, but already Olafmeister getting up to a cracking start here. Crims forced out of that position, but still operating at such a high level, able to back away as well, even on minimal HP. This is a slaughter, and Fnatic at the helm of it all.
Those fast plays towards the B bomb site have not yet worked for FaZe. The only time it worked is on the pistol round when they had a complete fake. So these past 2 times they've tried it, even against CZs, even against Tech 9s, or I mean not Tech 9s, but the upgraded pistols and just flashbangs, it hasn't worked. Fnatic's ready for it. These uppercuts from FaZe have just been ineffective. They need to be very, very careful. I mean, it has worked when they set it up properly, but just straight up rushing B, Fnatic, that's too easy for them. And that's brilliant also because now they build up some money. Now they can take some risks, and you're seeing it. Aggressive towards long. They're going to get a lot of map information.
Love the idea as well. Nice double stack down there. JW can back away, not feel too worried about the rest of the members. They can play off each other, and they get a great timing on the flank as well. Perfect adjustment from Dennis. There he is, and there's JW as well. Good confidence builder for them.
Yeah, really, really, really good. And another round where they don't lose anyone. So they're set, essentially, for the rest of this half. They've now clawed themselves back into it. They're going to keep it close. There was an opportunity there for their FaZe to run away with it, but since it's stabilized, Fnatic should be all right. No ADP for Alu as well, so this double op setup is going to be tough to break.
Yeah, we saw during, I guess, the online portion of the ESL Pro League when Fnatic went through that big rebuilding phase, essentially, of pulling themselves back together, really starting to come alive in it. the double AWP was something that they consistently went to on that CT side, and it was always so risky, but had such a reward when they finally got it and they got the stable money. But the underpass players coming in, and FaZe, well, Nico can't really support them too much. Those deep smokes, again, they've been hindered slightly here.
That's risky, though. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of ifs involved, but I mean, if someone came through that, or someone, JW isn't holding that angle, so he's completely exposed. A lot of reliance on that smoke in this round. There's a pretty decent nade. Actually, it's great. Rain down to 60. You're seeing Fnatic, now that they've got this double op setup rolling, all of this initial aggression on the defensive side is based around these ops. JW set up with the smoke, Olaf set up to open up door and peer deep into the underpass.
Great mental fortitude from Fnatic. After having a bit of a beating for a while, they've really come back in. They're holding their ground here as well. Early aggression, keep FaZe on their toes, don't allow them to get that free map control they've had a good couple of times, and now fall back. They still have utility, they still have the AWPs, they can operate just as well playing from the sites.
Yeah, that aggression early on, you could see how far back FaZe is with only 40 seconds left. I mean, they haven't wanted to push up. They have to be very, very cautious, never knowing where the next stack or the next setup is going to be from Fnatic. They're going to start running out of time. JW and Dennis playing a support situation. Dennis is going to be pretty much alone here, though, and he's pushing forward. Kiyo's ready for it. A spray battle goes the way of Kiyoshima, and the nade damage is great out towards long, but this is going to be tough with the smokes up to defend with this AWP.
Yeah, JW is battening down the hatches. He knows the storm's about to come. But 17 seconds, the nades, the mollies, they're hindering them. They're making this very, very difficult. JW again, smoked out position, flash comes in. 10 seconds now. FaZe might have not, they just don't surely have time for this. Again, JW, trickery through the smoke, and look at the time, 4 seconds, no time for the plant, they know it. It's time to stay alive for Fnatic, and Olaf Meister does the dance, he comes out on top. And the other two remainders from FaZe get away with their lives, but not the round.
Yeah, counter nades. Fnatic has really made FaZe feel uncomfortable and a little bit cautious and too scared in that round. Not executing until 17, 16 seconds left on the clock, and all of Fnatic has rotated over. It's too much of a battle to take over that bomb site with that much presence. Really, really nice counter nades from JW. He was harassing them that whole time, that whole way up long. Really, really good job. Despite all the map control, because, I mean, you're right, Fnatic, they have that early aggression, and they all just fell so far back. FaZe just had to be so cautious.
Yeah, exactly. We get to see it all. We get to see them fall back. You get that beauty of X-Ray, but you're playing against Fnatic, who love to put a player in a really uncomfortable position, just leave them there, just to be a real nuisance, buy you time. You have to go through every single check on the way. So for FaZe, they kind of had to do that, and then they got stuck at long. So from bad to worse for these guys, it was a very nice start for them, but we've finally got that game we kind of expected on our hands here.
Yeah, they're still going to be pretty happy with 6 rounds, even if the half ends like this. I mean, you obviously want more, but 6 isn't anything to slouch at the T side. Benefited that pistol round as well. I mean, that would have been a great kill at the end for Nico if he was able to get that, take the AWP away from Olaf Meister, but instead he falls after the timer. 6-6. AK-47 and AWP on Alu. FaZe bringing some danger into this round, but again, the aggression to set up the AWP play, and this time JW's got someone watching his back as well.
Really nice. Beautiful angle as well. Rain gets punished, and now he can back away, adjust for the push, expecting the play to come off the back of it, and Dennis falls back as well. I like this. Not outstaying their welcome, not risking it, not allowing these pistols to have their moment. And Flusher, of course he's there. Why wouldn't he be? Making it even more uncomfortable for them to approach anywhere.
Dennis is the next up, and that's easy kill for him. Kerrigan can't get anything done. So AK and AWP still remaining. It's a 2-on-4. Alu and Kiyo, everything to do here. And Flusha, again, just being a nuisance, really. Seems like they know he's there. He does have a kill, so he's been spotted out, but just being a little bit aggressive, firing some shots, and has still made them so cautious.
Yeah, Alu doesn't like the idea of moving up, because as soon as they maybe take a fight with Nico or MAB, you know there could be a flank there, so they have to commit to one of the sides. Now, they're actually going to go towards Underpass and try and clear it. Now, already Flush has gone down towards the T side of things. And, oh god, did Kiyo hear this? He did, but it doesn't matter! Flusher swings out, Kiyo goes, and now Alu is very isolated, very alone, and has to find a fight to find some sort of freedom. He does, he succeeds. But surely no more can come of this, surely not.
He's going to go for it, and he's running the whole way. He's giving away his position, 20 seconds left, going to come through the smoke. Crims is ready for it. Has his weapon out at the right moment, so Fnatic have officially recovered in this half, 7-6. This is quite a nice display. It's been a number of rounds in a row for them. Just not enough firepower, it felt like, in that round for FaZe. I mean, you like the idea, you know, have some danger in it. You have the AK, you have the AWP, but those pistols, just nothing to do. And still the double op that just reigns supreme for Fnatic ever since they've brought it out.
No, it's not surprising when you have people like JW and Olaf Meister, but it's the others as well. They really find new ways to play, new approaches once that double up comes through. And a bit of an aggressive play coming out as well from the CT side. Look at Dennis. just, you know, searching for those violent delights as he does work his way up, but already boxing in FaZe here. They know, they surely know where they are now. There's a chance they could be in, you know, deep underpass maybe, but it's unlikely why they'd all be there. So now they can just slowly start to tighten that noose.
Well, looks like if he execute and those violent delights have violent ends, Flusha gonna rotate around, but he gets dropped immediately. There's the op chiming in, but finally these Tech-9s seems to spur FaZe forward. They've got a couple of kills, but the bomb is lost in a critical position. I think thanks to JW, but still no one winning the battle. Just more Tech-9s against M4s, and it's all going the way of the pistols. Even JW can't get anything done, and FaZe finally respond.
All right. Well, you know, Fnatic had a round of that themselves, so it's only fair that both of them have those weird pistol rounds that just somehow work. You know, you get the CZ one for the CTs, get the Tech-9s out, just run at them. They haven't been able to pull off that B hit with guns the whole time, but bang on the Tech-9, boys, you'll be fine. Oh, CSGO, sometimes you test us. But 7-7, we are actually getting a very good game here. The second half, I can imagine, is going to be absolutely monstrous. It's been back and forth the whole way. You know, Fnatic, their money did go down a little lower for quite some time. They've got a little bit now built up beside them so they can get that nice buy coming to this final round on the first half. Same can be said for FaZe as well.
Picking up the aggression, though, one more time. One player out long, one player at party. Here's Olofmeister. When does he peek? Nico's the only one here. I don't think he's spotted Dennis. This could be awkward timing. Nico's very aware of this possibility. They've seen it so much. And again, Dennis just has no one spotting his back, does he? It's all on timing.
Yeah, and that's terrifying. There's nothing that says that someone could have been behind you, and he still wins it. See, these are the things that just blow my mind. That there was a possibility that someone could have walked up. There was a smoke there. Olaf couldn't spot it, but he still gets away with murder. So backs away. Double up still left on the T side here. Karrigan running that as well. So I guess the final round, just throw everything into it, try and get something to work for you.
Yeah, this is brilliant. Keo's gained ground, and he's got Crims at an angle, and he wins that battle, but there's still one more player in B and one on short. Flush is holding it down for the moment. All the while, reinforcements are coming in, but this is all a ruse. FaZe want to switch it up back towards the A bomb site, but the bomb is just still so far away. I'm not sure that Karrigan can fake this out for long enough, and indeed he can't. Flusha gets aggressive. He wants to find everything for himself, and he gets it.
I don't think Alu's going to be able to gain enough ground to allow for this plant to even to come in cleanly. They're already in bank. There's already one down by that headshot bin. It's almost impossible. He's going to have to hit something ridiculous here. He's got a molly to cut off one side, I guess, but he still wants the shot, and he's not going to get it. Lovely play back and forth between Olofmeister and Dennis there. Now Rain's going to have to do something outstanding. It will not happen. Fnatic claim the lead at the half. Yeah,
that fake was just a little bit of a dream there. I mean, they're really reaching for that one. The bomb was just too far away to make it work. Either way, great recovery for Fnatic in this half.
Yeah, and they needed it. FaZe looked like they were really running through that game, but a good recovery to come through. And we saw these crazy rounds with these pistols. It feels like a common state to them now in CSGO, but I can imagine we'll be saying more of it in the second half, so guys, do stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back to ESL One Cologne, of course powered by Intel. We're about to get underway into the second half here. And well, we are going to wait and see how this one unfolds. A very close matchup, hard to call either way. I'm sure you guys at home are getting your bets in over on that beautiful side of things on Betway, so you can keep your eyes on the stats and all of that good stuff coming through. So keep your eyes on this one. It's going to be hard to break down which team's going to walk away with this.
Rush B, and there goes Flusha. Meanwhile, his team takes it over, but FaZe is already here for the retake. This is going to be tough. A lot of pressure is going to be on Fnatic to get themselves in these positions to defend against it.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Two players, backs to the wall. Dennis and Crims, do your magic, Dennis. Let's go. Let's see that fit. Nah, didn't happen.
It's just really unfortunate. I mean, obviously Rush B is like the most tactical of calls you can make. Understatement of the year.
Genius.
I know, but I mean, it's unfortunate that FaZe at the same time calls, you know, that sewers crunch. Two players coming downstairs, two players pushing sandbags. By the time like one player dies, they already have 4 players ready for the retake. So it's like, yeah, you have the bomb site, but we have a full 35 seconds to just retake this. We're already here. So just kind of like a default loss there for Fnatic, it feels.
Yep, the tactical genius, as highlighted, didn't quite work out that time. Many more opportunities ahead, do not fear. Hopefully we get some more B-rush, or just the same old Astralis hit. Another firm favourite.
Seems like everyone's taking that hit.
It literally is. Who was it? Was it Schneider who said he went on like YouTube and they watched like how to do it in like 30 seconds and they did it in the next match and it worked?
Yep.
Gotta love it.
They did it like 10 minutes before the match started.
Yeah.
That'll never beat that clip of Optic of like Rush showing Hayes how to point out the smoke. That was great. Loved it.
Just puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Alright, this round though, not going to be looking too likely to have much going on, just purely due to the fact it's actually almost a real eco. There's one P250 ruining it all. How dare you, Dennis?
Yeah, what a jerk. Either way, I mean, they got the plant right, so FaZe is going to know that the AK-47s are coming to the next round. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty much just kind of see if you can get lucky with that P250, see if you can create something for us. It is Dennis. The Desk talked about him, mentioned him as like one of the best pistol players we have in the game, and he's already been put on 15 HP. So might want to pass that P250 over. But without him creating anything, there's really nothing to do.
The thing is, when both teams have such, you know, high average of excellence, the median really does rise for everyone else. So Dennis doesn't quite get away with the amount that he can do in other situations. Because, you know, some players simply aren't, you know, as one-to-one firepower based as each other. You know, some people are very cerebral players. You know, there's various ways to be good at CS. But yeah, these two teams certainly do have a lot of firepower to depend on.
There's nothing left here for Fnatic. I mean, they're just kind of hoping Keo doesn't check a corner, that they can set up some kind of a crossfire, and there it is. But see, I mean, even everything goes right for JW, and he still loses that battle. And Olaf, I think he was using burst fire.
He was using burst.
Yeah, you hate to see that. That's always, it always works out so well in your head. You're like, oh, close range, I'll use this burst fire, and then it never works. You're like, yeah, this is why I never used that. I don't know why I switched.
Yeah, you're just hoping. Anyway, buy time. This is the round. This is what I want to be seeing. We have a decent rifle buy coming in for Fnatic, decent utility as well. Of course, absconding away from that in the last couple of rounds because they did get the plant and a good couple of kills to boot. Now, FaZe, though, sitting on some of those FAMASes, SMG up as well. So again, trying to stretch that bank as far as they can.
Yeah, Kerrigan's the one halfway up bathrooms, getting some information. Smoked out at the moment, just spamming through. Here's the AK-47s on the other side. He's going to book it all the way back to the bomb site. So Fnatic, that's much more aggressive than FaZe was in the first half, and it pays some dividends. I mean, FaZe go all the way back towards the bomb sites. Now they're getting aggressive out towards long A, getting in some kind of a position there, but this is great. It seems like Fnatic, they're going to readjust towards the B bomb site. Still haven't committed to anything yet, though.
No. Slower play now that they've finally got some of that map control through. Going to fall back. They have a lot to fall back to as well. They can work through this. Only 2 players dedicated towards B so far for FaZe as well, so this could be a nice hit for Fnatic if they get it going quickly enough and keep FaZe on their toes. Crims might just be checked on here. Keo playing very, very close, but he does have that SMG, so it's always quite hard, but he does get the info. Nice little underhand flash in case there's a quick hit off the back of it. It did catch one, but he gets taken out by Crims. Now the hit begins. Now it all gets a little bit dangerous. And who is on the site? It's going to be Nico trying to control so many different angles, so many different threats coming in. He does at least find Olafmeister, but simply overwhelmed in the end. And a clean round for Fnatic.
Yeah, very clean round for Fnatic. That hit came in so fast once it was spotted out. The reinforcements, the rotation couldn't get there in time. There were 3 players for FaZe over towards that A bomb site, thinking it's going to be an A hit, misread it, and also, I mean, that's just a battle you don't want to be taking with an SMG. If Keo has a rifle there, an M4, a FAMAS, or something, that's maybe a little bit more likely, but you could tell he didn't really want to commit to it, even though he peeks and he sees someone blind. The SMG at that range, just not the most effective.
Christ.
So
They really just block each other in spawn.
it happens. It's always like the one guy who's like, yeah, I'll go first. Oh, I've been blocked.
Look at this boost as well. Alu boosted up. Gonna fall off it. It was Rain who boosted him. You get, I guess, a bit of an awkward angle to look down on. Make it uncomfortable for Fnatic, but they're still so dead set on taking this map control.
And they're very, very aggressive with it. Like JW just coming through a Molotov, not taking very much damage. He's going to be fine with 73, but still wanting some kind of presence very, very fast, kind of trying to get FaZe used to the fact that Fnatic is going to be aggressive to open up these rounds on the T side. They've got pretty much everything they could want at the moment.
Yeah, they really do. They just need to make it land. That's it. You have the map control now. You've got the better weapons. You've still got utility left. You're up against, again, a couple of FAMASes. Not much utility. You know, Molly's left. A couple of smokes. A few flashes there, but nothing to really do damage with for FaZe. So they're, sitting back, just having to just accept this.
Rain just now left the bathrooms. He was out towards long. He was about halfway up the bathroom. So at least he had an idea of where exactly Fnatic was progressing. He knew there was no immediate danger onto the A bomb site. So good information that he gains. Now he's slinked back, and it's Alu's turn to push up right behind this smoke. That position, though, you need someone baiting for you, right? You need someone who's going to distract once that smoke disappears.
But look at the time left. Again, a lot of teams at the moment seem to be running this clock incredibly low, and it opens up a variety of options now for FaZe. Right person in the right place can hinder everything. 20 seconds remain. It is going to be what looks like a B hit here with a little bit of a ruse from Crims over towards A, or that kind of late flank. But Nico again has the chance to come into this. Oh, that was perfect from Nico. And now surely this is all theirs. 9 seconds is nowhere near enough, and no way did they get towards that site.
Yeah, nice composure from FaZe. The clock winding down as well, not giving up too much, and Nico's just a beast. That's a brilliant hold from him. The way he uses that ramp to really isolate the one-on-ones as well. Crims was coming in for a flank. If there's even just a little bit of success at that deep bomb site, Crims can just ruin everything.
Yep.
Just no chance to, and Nico wins every fight he takes. Really, really well done.
It went well between, I think it was him and Rain on the side itself. Rain gets a bit of the attention, Nico swings into it, back and forth we go. Really well played between the two of them. However, Fnatic now, again, still able to buy up somewhat, a couple of Tech 9s there, but we know what success they can have with them. So again, I don't really doubt much, but FaZe, oh god, this could be a disaster, it could be brilliant. Dennis does find Alu, so, well, Rain's a little bit of a prop, manages to fall.
Yeah, this is where Fnatic just presses the gas. They're just going to go take this hit very, very quickly. They're already going to be pressuring these stairs. It's just Rain, and he's got one, but no trades. Someone from Fnatic has to do it, and there's the swing out. Finally, JW gets into the action, but Keo's already rotated over. This is very unconvincing, and Olaf, though, he's got to step up next.
Yeah, this is horrible. They weren't trading well, but the individuals have really started to shine. It's down to Keo in the 1v2. JW's already low, and Olaf Meister is on the prowl. 1 minute on the board. Bomb's not planted, so Keo can still work his way around this one. Olaf Meister on long, JW playing up front. Toilets finds the one. Oh, the adjustment is sensational, Keo! What a play!
Oh, that's great. JW was in perfect position to trade that as well. He just couldn't get the kills, maybe going through the side of the box a little bit. Brilliant, brilliant 1-on-2 for Keo to win at a huge timing as well. Economically extremely important in this matchup. So FaZe, with that win from Keo, with that clutch, they grab control again of this second half.
Of all the players on that team, you don't normally put it onto Keo to be able to, do those things. Incredibly capable player. I take nothing away from him, but you put Nico in that, you put whoever else you want. You're like, all right, maybe they got this maybe, but all right, Keo. That's what I like to see. JW and Olaf Meister now. Not even getting a step in. Carrigan, big no to that.
This has been very, very nice from FaZe. Clinical, not losing anyone, so building up a little bit of money for the end of this game. Trying to sustain some mistakes or some hardships that may come in the future, but Fnatic, not a whole lot of chances left for them. All AK-47s. That was a very fast-paced, aggressive round towards the A bomb site, but FaZe just barely managed to hold on to it.
Yep. And no warps up for either side at the moment. Rifles galore. JW not really been unleashed this map. He's doing fine. I just, it's not JW level of what you want to see. Same can be said for the rest of Fnatic. You kind of want some player to just go off, right? You see them making these opportunities happen, but FaZe is controlling it. They're doing very well.
I'm not sure if Q spotted on that jump. He might have. Either way, Even if he did, it's only one body. Flush has taken some nade damage, and out towards long, there's a stack. It's Rain and Kerrigan, 2 players, one against the wall. One turned behind the rock for flashbangs.
And also, I guess, because they left toilets completely open. In theory, someone could walk out and check on it, but
Yeah,
sitting anti-flash is always a nice bonus there if you've got someone with you, so why not? Again, though, they're leaving opportunity here for Fnatic, but obviously Fnatic don't know this. It's pick your poison time. And, well, they tried to make a choice, and you made the wrong one. Nico went for a walk, and he found Dennis, and that's bomb spotted, plan unraveled. Hey, Fnatic, how does this feel?
Yeah, now the flank coming in out towards long. Finally, it's Rain pushing up from his position. That one kill from Nico takes all the attention away, and there's Nico again. Another kill, and he has been just heartbreak for Fnatic. Crushing everything they're trying to do. He's been brilliant in this B bomb site.
That's the thing, isn't it? He goes from a game where you could barely say his name because he wasn't having much of a matchup before. But I think he likes having his name said a couple of times. But Olofmeister and JW are somewhat the same. Oh, that's a blinder. Now that's gotten problematic, isn't it? Olofmeister finding Kyo's just brought this back down to 2v2. Bombs in. Decent after plant spot as well. My word.
Yeah, despite some of the struggles, these players are still so dangerous. JW in the bomb site using the smoke. This could be deadly. Rain, is he looking for it? He was, but he's taken his eyes away. Down to just 7 HP.
And he doesn't find it. Rain 4 HP now. Molly flashes, he's flashed up, pushed away. JW's hunting, he knows he's wounded, but it's Kerrigan in the 1v1. Olofmeister on the other side. Does have a kit. Oh no, Olofmeister, the timing was so good from him. Played it so well, and those two recover a round that somewhat seemed impossible. Yeah, incredible shots, and I mean, despite some of the successes, you think maybe, I mean, there could have been some better positionings. Kyo doesn't need to be peeking until his teammates get there. Once his 2 teammates in the site die, play retake, wait for the reinforcements. But I mean, still, on top of all of that, all those mistakes, the incredible shots to take advantage of them. Nico dies without barely being able to respond to it. Kyo doesn't even get a shot off. Incredible stuff from Fnatic coming out at just the right moment. So 10 to 12, that might have been the backbreaker. So Fnatic has allowed themselves to survive moving forward. Just won't go down without a fight, will they? Kerrigan going to try and take the fight on long this time. Rain going to have success again doing this. Alu was there, but unable to really make that AWP sing just yet either. Bomb down. You can see that pinch through Overpass going to start coming through. Information gathered, outdone again. Oh, Rain, though, comes in at the perfect timing. He's just an assassin, isn't he? And even the wherewithal to know that JW is going to be circling from behind at any moment, but he's got to take a fight at some point. He can't just sit behind this rock. It's too much. And he gives JW too much space, too much room, and eventually gets hunted down. Now it's all on Nico. His only real option here, he has to get aggressive. He can't just sit back and wait for Fnatic to pick a bomb site. He's got to go try and find something. There's too much time left on the clock. But remember, this is a man who doesn't know how to lose. It doesn't exist in his vocabulary. He just wants these victories. And Fnatic have just frozen. They're waiting. They're waiting to see where that move comes from. But he's allowed to slip into a bit of an awkward predicament here. Now, the door, okay, if he opens it, it makes noise. Flusher gives it a quick glance. But would you expect him to be here? No, actually, I thought the timing was going to be unfavorable to him, so Nico's just camping out, and this is a pretty decent middle portion on the map. He can go to both bomb sites pretty quickly from here, but yeah, this is unfortunate. Yeah, now he just has no idea, right? I think eventually he's going to be hearing these smokes, these flashbangs. He's going to choose to come out the door. 12 seconds left on the clock. Timing is everything now. I don't know if they're going to even consider this. They will. Olofmeister's watching it. Molly is in there. The fire, the flames hinder somewhat of it. Oh, Nico, no way! This is a 1v1 now. Bomb is planted. Flusher has an AWP. And as said, this man does not know how to lose. Flusher has to take the fight and he wins it. He secures it for Fnatic, but that was a heartbeat away. Yeah, it really was. He runs out of bullets. He could have reloaded, but still, he only had 11 left. Great job to get the first 2 kills. A couple of missed shots from the Fnatic players. But Flusher equally is one of the best clutch players we have, and just the knowledge of everything. Swinging out wide, getting the kills. Nico trying to be aggressive with a pistol. Almost happens. And that's it. That's all the FaZe money. So they're back onto just the USPs, the P2K. Fnatic with the chance to equalize the score. Yeah, FaZe. Give, Fnatic an inch and they will take a mile. Well, here comes the aggression to themselves, and JW, this is shooting fish in a barrel with the MVP, but actually the fish are winning. The fish are winning. It's like Magikarp just splashing at him. There's nowhere to really go with that one, is there, once you say it? The fish are winning. What is this? Well, they certainly did fight back. It is always scary though when you've got an AWP and you just see like 4 people in front of you. You're like, please someone help me, I can only do so much. Oh, lordy.
Either way, I mean, it's crazy because some of this aggression that FaZe has had towards long A has been successful, right? But it's like meant to just end the round. Like if you have success with those moves or those plays, it's supposed to just be crippling to what you can do on the offense. But it hasn't been that killing blow that it's designed to be. It's just been marginally effective.
And that's the thing, I think, though, as well, between these two teams, with so much individual ability, even the situations that should sit incredibly favorably after doing X, Y, and Z, there's always a chance it can change. You saw that 2v, what is it, 4 or 5? Yeah. I can't even remember. It's ridiculous. So again, you know, these players can put themselves into somewhat of, you know, terrible positions sometimes, you know, out of no fault of their own, of course, but actually do manage to come out of it. So again, you can't really write this off. Even the early moves may not even echo throughout the rest of the game, but a quick tactical timeout may be called in there for FaZe just to discuss what's been going on, because Fnatic are really back in the reins here. 12 to 12 now. It looked like FaZe were going to start to run away with it. It looked like they had everything going very nicely for them, but Fnatic just don't know when they're done.
That's always been like a trademark of them going back very, very long. I mean, they've always been able to pull magic out of nowhere. It's one of the big strengths, and one of the things that's really, we haven't seen that, I mean, that magical performance lately, Colin. That's, Nico just continues to have impact. Sick opening kill. I'm not sure if he spotted him or if that was just a nade spam, but there might have been a little bit of a gap in that smoke.
With FaZe now with 5 up. They'll start maybe starting to work out where Fnatic are, but again, Fnatic do have a fair bit of free reign. They have no one really to challenge on long. There's no one exactly here. This plays by Toilet, so they could maybe spot them out if they go and play a little bit closer, but FaZe have picked where they're playing, let's bear in mind. They're very aware they've left long pretty open, and we'll see what Fnatic can do with this, if they can convert it to anything now.
They've got everything covered so far. Alu is going to be the one just waiting. I've seen him play this position before. There's a rotation. It looks over towards this A bomb site as well. So there's some presence here from FaZe. 40 seconds on the clock.
Set piece being lined up. Alu can dismantle everything. He can ruin this. If they don't check him out, surely they will. You can imagine they will. They've got to go through the motions. He gets baited into it, and there it is. Crims and JW strike between each other. 20 seconds now. Everything can go wrong in the blink of an eye, and it's going to be Rain, the only one who can really hinder this now, or it's retake time. And again, he comes in with another shot. Spams through a box. Oh, but it's Kyo through the smoke. Bombs loose. It's JW hoping for a miracle here, and he's not going to get one. 6 seconds. He can't escape. Nico lurks from the depths below. And again, they hold on for another.
Yeah, great job by Rain. Those couple of kills out towards long. That's beautiful trading and beautiful crossfire set up with his teammate. But it's Kyo who gets the bomb down. If that bomb gets planted, then Fnatic can at least fall back and maybe have a chance of getting into some post-plant positioning. Just not able to do it there at the end. So FaZe recover 13 to 12. And Fnatic actually, they're the ones who have the beat up money now as well. I mean, CZ on JW, no AWP. And some aggression again. Alu coming down the stairs, just holding an angle. He's got to hit this shot. The pre-fire is there. He gets baited out. Now he's got to bail away, and Fnatic's just going to let him off.
Yeah, there's always that worry if there's other player playing close by the exit. So again, got to be a little cautious here, but Fnatic have decent step throughout this map. They've got the underpass control now. They've got a couple of players over by the fountain, so they know there's no one pushing up long. And they can start working their way through. They what, put like 30-odd seconds into that, so it's not the end of the world. They're doing pretty nicely so far.
The scary thing is you can see it in that last round a little bit, as Kyo almost sprays that through, but that last round, I mean, FaZe falling back very, very far very quickly whenever they feel any pressure, so that was a lot of room. Dennis was able to get up long A without anyone really noticing, without anyone putting pressure on him until he's got the angle on them in the bomb site. So FaZe has to be a little bit cautious of that. The benefit they have in this round is they have the utility advantage. They have the nades. They still have 3 smokes, 1 Molotov, plenty of flashbangs. It's Fnatic who only have 2 smokes.
40 seconds. Fnatic showing patience, showing caution, taking their time on this. No one giving them opportunity either. FaZe having to just wait for the hit, wait for that wave to break. Nico again, he finds so much out here though. Olofmeister, okay, he can try and sell that it's still maybe a little bit of presence towards B, but you just kind of got to know that there's not much else happening. Nico's all the way in spawn. He's going to say, guys, just one of you go and head over towards A, which they've done. They've got 3 players now on this A side of things. 15 seconds. Fnatic are running out of time. I don't get this. 10 seconds? What is going on? One molly could have stopped this. 8 seconds now. Alu finally goes down, and Rain again strikes. This is deadly stuff, but the bomb is planted, but JW left with almost no option, and there it goes. Karrigan comes back in with 3. And what is happening here?
Yeah, running on the clock too much. Maybe indecision, maybe just not aggressive enough earlier on to take map control. But either way, these past couple rounds have been down to the wire, and they've gotten away with it a couple times. They actually, there was a situation, there's a world in which if they execute a little bit quicker, Nico gets all that information pushing up, but at a certain point, with only 20 seconds left on the clock and he's out by T-spawn, he's taken himself out of the round. So yes, he's gotten the information, but if there's success at a bomb site, then he just can't really do anything. This is all about, I mean, just timing of these peaks. Rain with 2 kills allows the pocket for Kerrigan to come loose. Great, great job. But it is that information from Nico that allows FaZe to rotate a player over, a third player at this A bomb site.
Again, it's strange seeing Fnatic playing that slow.
It's just weird when you see that late in the round that the CT team is the one taking the steps to find things out. Like Nico getting flashed out of B tunnels at a monster. You think about that time, it's supposed to be when the T's are hitting the bomb site. So I mean, FaZe is just as curious. They're like, why isn't Fnatic doing anything? Why haven't we seen anyone? Let's go find out. And there's no presence at B. It's just too much of a tell.
So 14-12 now, FaZe really starting to chip away at what Fnatic built throughout this game. It's FaZe on the precipice of getting to that ever so important 15th round, but then again, you know Fnatic will never let you get away with that. Even if you are on 15, they still think there's overtime and there's still a win there for you. So never put them out, but for now, FaZe really have established themselves back in this game. There was a couple of rounds, a good stretch of time where Fnatic looked like they had the control in this.
Yeah, where does Fnatic go with this, though? Bomb is still pretty centralized, pretty far back. Again, another round where there's not a whole lot of utility that Fnatic can bring into this, and you could see Alu taking long range. He'll be able to tell if anyone's going to come up. No one's spotting bathrooms, though, so there's an avenue for Fnatic to get a little bit closer. Still just 2 players over at A. That smoke might lure someone back, and Alu's got to get a little bit passive.
Goes for a little bit of a jump spot on it. Could have had his head taken off, but he's alright. He's fine. No deagles this time. CZ's Tech 9's Molly smoked. And still down to, what, 55 seconds here. Flash comes in. Rain has been a bit of a backbone on this A side as well. He's been delivering quite consistently some very, very integral kills. Molly hindering the approach from toilets as well there. So FaZe buying a bit of time here, making it even more difficult for Fnatic to get up close.
And this can be a huge tell. If Fnatic's not going to execute while these smokes are up, then FaZe is kind of like, okay, well, they were here earlier, but they're not coming because of the smokes. Then everyone start rotating, and now you're seeing an opening kill from Rain far away from the bomb site. He's going to go for more, and he's going to get it.
So well played by him. I can't say anything more, but for Fnatic, you're always going to be in an uphill struggle. FaZe have the players in the right place at the right time. If you're going to go in against that, you better have a plan. You better be doing better than going in with 10 seconds left and limited utility. So now it's crunch time. 15-12, FaZe managed to pull this back together. There was moments where Fnatic looked like they're going to run away with it, get back into your real charging position, but no. It's been FaZe on the recovery, and they've taken it all the way through. Yeah, and it's not looking good, Lauren, is it, this round? I mean, 2 UMPs, Galil, dilapidated utility. It's just a bit awkward to put together, and this could be, okay, some aggression, but they're just falling back. Actually, Kerrigan's in a very tough spot. He's going to fall away. Look like Fnatic could be getting aggressive over towards Fountain, but he applies enough pressure and just falls back. Alu's taken decent damage, though, so some early exchanges with these nades won by Fnatic, but the tough part is they've used so much to counter the pressure from FaZe early on that they don't have a whole lot left to work with. 0 flashbangs. They have 2 smokes, and they basically just have to win duels. And I wouldn't put it past them. They're very, very capable, but again, they're on UMPs, they're on Galils. They have 2 rifles up. That's Crims and JW. So for them, they've got to be operating well. You're down to almost a minute here. They're going to bring themselves back around together. It might be that B hit coming in again. Maybe 2 smokes is enough to make it work, a nade or 2. But you know, barrels then becomes an issue. You can't molly out any of these spots. And generally, it's been Nico holding this. Well, previously when we've seen FaZe with 3 men towards A, it's been because they have this long setup going, and they pretty much stick to it. That third player hasn't really cheated over towards B, so Fnatic, they have the right read. If anything is going to make it work, it's going to be this setup here from FaZe is going to allow Fnatic a chance. And it's going to be Nico. Of course, it's going to be Nico. He can't spray enough, though. Keo going to join in on the battle. He spots the bomb. He calls for support, but he's still very, very alone. Tries to find a fight towards short. He spots JW. He gets it. Great work. Good timing on the flash. Doesn't allow the crunch to happen, and Keo almost does it all by himself. But it's down to a 3v2. Flusher and Crims to try and save Fnatic here, but with merely 20 seconds and very limited options. It's not looking likely for Flusher. Yeah, touchdown nade as well. This is all it for Fnatic. FaZe is going to win this one. 15 seconds. Flusher shouldn't be able to do this, but you never know. Kerrigan just baiting him out, biding time. And there it is. There's the victory. Flusher gets lured into a commit, and Kerrigan wins it. Nice recovery. Back and forth throughout most of that game. Both teams being tested. No, that was a very enjoyable game between these two as well, both being put into positions where maybe it didn't necessarily always work out when they were aggressive. We saw slowed down approaches that didn't really suit Fnatic all that well either, but I guess you have to take the options you're given at that sort of point when FaZe are on point.
Yeah, they very much were. And I mean, even Fnatic, we saw some of that skill shine. A lot of those rounds we saw guys like Olaf, JW getting kills instantaneously that bailed them out of tough spots. But overall, FaZe just has too much to bring on this map. It's always been a good map for Kerrigan teams. It
very much has, and of course it looked very different from yesterday for FaZe. So good for them to get their heads back in this one here, of course, at ESL One Cologne, working their way through the groups. And well, we're going to hear what the desk has to say about this one after the break.
The Pay Safeguard post-match breakdown.
Yes, indeed. Another game in the books and another team picking up a big fat W. In fact, it was a split series 1-1 prior to this, but now another joins that 2-win category. Now, though, alongside myself, Yanko, and Sponge, we're going to try and understand exactly what did just go down on our first overpass of ESL One Cologne. We do get to see FaZe take this one as they stride ever closer to making yet another playoffs and perhaps continuing their grand finals record so far since the addition of Nico. Chad, where do you want to start with this one? Seeing some perhaps unaccustomed lack of discipline from Fnatic. It seemed to be a criticism we've heard over on the desk or in the green room.
I want to start with FaZe and add them as another team to, I guess, the long list of ones who use the Astralis, aka Mr. Glaive, B execute. Okay. Which it bailed them out of a situation where it looked like it could have been a 9-6 half, right? And then it could have been a bit closer. They use that execute. If you haven't seen it before, it's got to be on YouTube. I'm sure I have it on my channel somewhere.
Oh, really?
It's great. And that's why I don't understand Fnatic not having something similar in their arsenal. You know, they had rounds where they could have done similar things with the same amount of utility or force play. It just felt like they didn't have that polish or that those moves to get over the line.
Well, I mean, let's just quickly explore that, just because I'm sure there's lots of people that are going, what? What's this Astralis execute? Yankee, you're familiar with it. If you had to kind of summarize nice and briefly.
I think it's I mean, the Astralis one refers to the wall of smokes. You smoke off Heaven, you smoke off Graffiti, you have great pop flashes coming in, Molly for barrels, and you perhaps add an extra smoke or a flash or a Molly depending on what you have left, right? But I think it's a bit unfair to call it just the Astralis execute, because for one, like Kerrigan had it when he was like with Astralis, they were running it then. This one was like popped out, the specific one by Glaive at the E-League Major, right? But then North has their own like version of it. Danish teams have always had a good version of it. Now, whether if it's the exact same one or a variation of it, doesn't really matter in the end of the day.
I will attest for at least 7 teams who I see do the exact same one. It's with the double mollies.
So
it's the exact same execution.
So here's the question to add to that pile. Fnatic just played Overpass. Do they have a version of it?
We saw when they were going towards A with Tech9 just making their way up toilets area, and I think Olaf made it onto the bomb site and he still had a Molotov and a smoke. So they didn't really have a plan. They just went, hey, let's move out and hope we find some frags. Absolutely. And when you're going to give heads-up Counter-Strike to a team like FaZe, they want to take those duels. And actually, both of these teams are similar in that regard, that they want to take fights. When we saw FaZe on their T side just going towards B relatively aggressively through Monster, Fnatic were just shutting them down. That's the type of CS they want to play. Come at me, my cross is already placed there. I have great aim. I'm going to win that fight every day of the week.
Yeah, now of course talking of winning fights and frags, Nico was doing an awful lot of it. We're bringing up his highlights so we get to kind of dig into what this man was doing. The Bosnian bulldozer, 20 years of age.
And has to update his photo.
Dropping
yeah, he had a great game, but the thing is, like, still, I'm not really pleased with the way FaZe was playing despite their win. Still, you could see a lot of situations where the discipline was lacking, when they were over-peaking, maybe not taking things slowly enough as they should, and some of that happened in crucial rounds. I mean, that 5v2 that they lost towards the very end of the game, that should have been their round. If they win that, the game probably ends there, because Fnatic was on a force. They would have had to eco. They would have lost the round without a plan. But the FaZe players were just taking fights and basically gifted the round to Fnatic, and that gave them a way into the game towards the very end. But it feels like the biggest problem for Fnatic was, like what Chad alluded to, is that they did try to run a slower style, which was good for the better part of the game. FaZe had a lot of force buys, so they would use up all their utility. But then when you need to close out the round, if you're Fnatic, like they just didn't have a proper execute. Either they took too long to set up and to throw the smokes and the flashes, or they didn't even throw them and use that utility properly, and they were just getting shredded by FaZe.
Shredded by FaZe. That is indeed a nice quick summary. If you just joined us, we've just witnessed FaZe get themselves a second win under their belt. In fact, both teams battling against each other because of a loss to Mouse Sports, of all teams. The only German player will be playing next, indeed. With its 2 wins already up their belt, will we see Dennis be able to make it in front of that Lanxess crowd? We'll find out if NIP can stop them after the break.